Welcome to the History's Cave, um, a channel that focuses on 20th and 21st century China. There's so many things happened in 21st century. The Olympics, the earthquake, and the financial crisis. Um, but what is also very important, one of the most important significant events of the 21st century is the Belt and Road Initiative that President Xi Jinping first proposed in 2013, along with the Chinese Dream. Um, it's and we are just a month from the summit that she had spoken to at the conference. About the progress that the Belt and Road Initiative had made. What is also important is to think from a historical perspective. For instance, where the name come from, and also the resonance of this initiative from earlier periods and its impact today. It's very often and simple that we think about Belt and Road going all the way back to ancient China. That there's a Silk Road, an inland Silk Road, and there's also a maritime Silk Road that carries, first of all, silk, of course, and then porcelain and other things from China to Central Asia, to Europe, and also to Southeast Asia, South Asia, and Africa, and so on. And this is where the name come from. But what is also important is the connection between China and the developing countries, in today's term, developing countries, was never has never disappeared in the second half of 20th century, especially when we think about the during the wave of post-colonialism and nationalism after the Second World War. Particularly important is the Bandung Conference in 1955 that we have China, Indonesia, Malaysia, India, and a big number of countries, especially developing countries and newly established nations attending the conference, where Chinese leaders, especially Premier Zhou Enlai, speaking at the conference. A couple of very important things about the Bandung Conference that has to be thought about carefully is the principles, for instance, the non-aligned movement, the anti-colonialism and anti-imperialism, and 5 principles of peaceful existence. Two things I want to emphasize here is, first of all, the non-aligned movement, which promoted the principle of non-alignment, encouraging developing countries to avoid becoming pawns in the power games between major Cold War players, especially in the United States and the Soviet Union. What is particularly illuminating today is actually not this non-aligned movement, but rather the some of the 5 principles of peaceful existence, especially mutual respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity and non-interference in each other's internal affairs. Because this formed a striking difference from what we have seen in the past 100 years or even more in terms of colonial expansion and transnational expansion and globalization in the name of development, but also in the name of protecting human rights, um, which draws us to the debate between sovereignty and human rights, which one is more important than the other. Especially here, you'll see a big difference in terms of whether the human rights should go beyond national sovereignty or the other way around. What is also important is from the 1960s on, we also see a rise of global Maoism that continues to influence the world by disseminating Maoist ideas from China to Southeast Asia, to South Asia, to Europe, but especially to Africa and Southeast Asia in terms of developing a new political order. Look at this poster here. It says 光焰无际的毛泽东思想照红全世界, which is a very typical portray of how the Red Guards, at least in the time, think about the relationship between China and the rest of the world. And that is the prehistory or the early stage of the Belt and Road Initiative. What is also interesting to think about is by the name itself, Belt and Road, which goes back to ancient China, is friendly, purely economic exchange with Africa, with other parts of Asia, with Europe. But its socialist legacy, especially the spirits of the Bandung Conference, was not so much being carefully and intentionally elaborated, which is an interesting question to think about. Why was that left aside? What is also interesting from here is you see the absence of the United States from the picture. Of course, the entire continent of America is missing from here. And that goes to the question today that whether China was trying to build or explore a new global order by lending this Belt and Road Initiative to various parts of the world, especially today, 2023, that there are more than 150 countries signed contract with China to look for opportunities for development and collaboration and so on. Of course, this question can be answered in both ways, that China was establishing a new global order and compete with the United States. So this is one explanation. And the other explanation is clearly a no, saying that this is purely economic and it was going to help China develop its own economy, but as well as the global integration and development and so on. Right? So either way has its either interpretation has its own supporters on various sides in different countries, and they have their own evidence to support themselves. And from the ideas or the concepts of colonialism or imperialism that we will look at, whether China was extracting resources from this local economies, and whether these projects, these infrastructural projects, were really benefiting local communities or the countries, developing countries, and whether this money that China lent to the developing countries actually threw them into debt traps. That has always been a heated topic today. Um, and also whether China was interfering with domestic affairs and um, damaging national sovereignties of these countries. Um, and we actually have different voices on these um, aspects. What is actually interesting is there are a lot of videos that you can search online and see um, how people, politicians, scholars, um, and commoners like you guys, like myself, um, understand the issue here. But what is interesting about this video, this interview from Financial Times actually offers some very important and stimulating perspectives too. From the conversation that I capture a couple of valuable insights that um, definitely there's a huge investment from the Financial Times. It was like 3 trillion US dollars in the past decade into infrastructural projects. Um, but what is interesting that happened in the past few years was um, China's emphasis has shifted from boosting mega projects of billions of dollars to smaller and beautiful projects that wouldn't cost much, but really benefits people. And that not only has to do with the increasing debt that has generated over the years, but also with China's slowing economy um, from the pandemic. Um, and there are many other interesting things from the video clip, from the interview that if you're interested, you can go search and watch later. And what is particularly intriguing are the comments actually from under this interview. I selected a few, and you guys can just go and read some more if you're interested. One is this. It says, "I'm surprised this is not an anti-China interview. It's calm, objective, and no interruption. So weird." And this is one. Another one that is also very interesting is here that China's infrastructure loans 100% goes to the um, building the infrastructure, whereas Western infrastructure loans are dissipated via multiple venues created by Western nations. And here goes what was an example from the United States. And it's like the overall is like um, about 50% of the money already gone away before the project actually started. And you have a couple of replies from below that compares this modes of investment and the logic of development behind from the financial supports that IMF or World Bank provided in comparison with those provided by China during the Belt and Road Initiative. So this is my brief presentation on this Belt and Road Initiative, and I hope you enjoy it. And you're more than welcome to share and type down your comments about what you think in terms of the revolutionary or socialist legacy of this Belt and Road initiative, as well as how this 21st century Belt and Road initiative might have impacted your life and your understanding of the world today. Thank you.